evening from New York. I'm Lawrence O'Donnell in for Keith Olbermann. On this date in 2001, this nation rallied together in the wake of the worst attack ever to hit these shores. 8 years later, the pain of what happened that morning feels just as acute. But in our fifth story on the countdown, the concept of working together toward a common goal for the public good, in this case, improving access to health care, has perhaps never seemed so distant. Congressman Joe Wilson's outburst at Wednesday's joint address to Congress, in which he called President Obama a liar for his claim that illegal immigrants would not benefit from health care reform, appears to have become the new rallying cry for the right. At a rally organized by Republican lobbying groups and attended by the Republican leadership, once the name of President Obama was uttered from the podium, the crowd breaking into a chant of "Liar, liar, pants on fire."
Last night, we heard our president address this country. We were listening for specifics. We were listening to hear something new, and we did not hear that.
He lied! He lied!
We've got a situation where we've got to speak up, we've got to speak louder on the behalf of the American people.
The First Amendment obviously on the side of both the crowd and Congressman Wilson calling the president a liar, but the facts are not. To clarify the president's point that the bill he signs will not apply to those who are here illegally, Chairman Baucus announced today that the Senate Finance Committee bill will include a clear proof of citizenship requirement with the full support of the White House. Meanwhile, in the House, Democratic leaders plan to vote next week to admonish Congressman Wilson if he does not apologize to the Congress on the floor of the House. Majority Whip Clyburn has asked Wilson to do so at least 3 times already. All have been ignored. Within the Republican ranks, Minority Leader John Boehner also pressured Wilson to apologize in the well of the House, to no avail. Congressman Wilson's office says he is taking the weekend to think it over. Why the indecision? Perhaps because the cost-benefit analysis of contrition is by no means clear to Congressman Wilson. In Wilson's district, the congressman clearly hit a nerve with many of his constituents. "Give Obama hell," one of them told the New York Times. Another admitted that while the South Carolina Republican was a mite disrespectful, she still supported him all the way. But what was considered a safe seat for Congressman Wilson Wednesday afternoon is now a toss-up, according to new numbers out today from Public Policy polling. Wilson's potential opponent, Rob Miller, is also outraising him more than 3-to-1 in the wake of Wednesday night's incident, despite the congressman's best efforts to solicit donations.
On these issues, I will not be muzzled. I will speak up and speak loudly against this risky plan. The supporters of the government takeover of health care and the liberals who want to give health care to illegals are using my opposition as an excuse to distract from the critical questions being raised about this poorly conceived plan. They want to silence anyone who speaks out against it. They made it clear they want to defeat me and pass the plan. I need your help now. If you agree with me that the government-run health plan is bad medicine for America, then I ask for your support. Please go to joewilsonforcongress.com and contribute to my effort to defeat the proponents of government-run health care.
Lots to talk about tonight with Clarence Page, Pulitzer Prize-winning syndicated columnist for the Chicago Tribune. Thanks for your time tonight, Clarence.
Thank you, Lawrence.
At that anti-reform rally, the Republicans could not control the base, and nor did they seem to really care about trying to control the base. The Republican leaders, they've not been able to get one congressman to just apologize to the Congress for obviously out-of-order behavior. What does that tell us about the state of the GOP and its leadership?
Well, they're in a battle with themselves right now. It's like Boehner versus the base. You know, John Boehner, the Republican leader in the House, has been trying to persuade Joe Wilson to go to the well and apologize. They're getting so much backlash nationally that the party doesn't need right now. But Wilson is more concerned about back home, where he's getting some benefit from this controversy from his base. But as you mentioned, Miller, his opponent, Democratic opponent, has made $1 million in the last 2 days. It's like a telethon going on. I keep getting more and more of these reports of money going up and up. There was actually Miller did very well against Wilson last year. They were about 3 or 4 points apart. In November, Miller benefited from a big surge of black voters with Barack Obama on the ballot. I think that I would still give the edge to Wilson right now, but this is a fight that he doesn't want. Most politicians wouldn't want a fight like this going into re-election.
Now, the Democrats considering admonishing Congressman Wilson, do they risk turning him into a martyr?
Well, you know, I think if anything helps Wilson right now with his base, it is the criticism he's getting from outside of South Carolina. A friend of mine, who's a history major, mentioned that Illinois presidents always seem to have trouble with politicians from South Carolina. But this seems to be another weird case of it here. There is a rebellious spirit down there back in his district that you can see from people who don't think that he should have behaved the way he did in the actual joint session, but still they're saying, well, he said what's on people's minds. They think Obama's a liar, and in that sense, Wilson can rally a lot of support.
Well, the new poll numbers in South Carolina showing him in a virtual tie for re-election with Rob Miller, his potential opponent. Is he facing possibly the worst nightmare a lifetime politician can face, the possibility of a dangerous re-election?
Well, it's to his advantage right now that the election's 14 months away. If it were being held right now, he would have good reason to be nervous. You're right. He's got enough time over the next year for this to blow over and for him to get back to his conventional advantage that you would expect an incumbent to have in an off-year election when voters also tend to vote against the party that's in the White House. Not always the case, but that tends to be the trend.
And finally, Clarence, tell us, how does it land in the black community when a Southern white congressman heckles the first black president of the United States in an address to Congress?
Well, it doesn't sit well, as you well might imagine. I mean, it was interesting to see the cameras swing over. Look at the picture of Joe Wilson there that was caught in action. And what do you see? One white guy in a suit surrounded by white guys in suits. And I mean, you know, as much as people say, well, race doesn't matter and I don't see race, blah, blah, blah. Hey, Republican leaders can't be so naive that they don't see that that's not the kind of image they want to put forth at a time when they're trying to broaden their appeal. So this is something that, as far as African Americans are concerned, and a lot of other people, I've had more white people come to me saying, wasn't that outrageous what happened there? Don't you think that's racist? It's really quite remarkable. I've told several friends, well, welcome to my world, you know. I mean, I get accused of seeing things through a lens of race, but that's kind of the way African Americans have learned the hard way to see developments in America. And you have to wonder, you know, the first time somebody has called the president a liar to his face in a joint session, it had to be the black president.
The ever-wise Clarence Page of the Chicago Tribune. Thanks for being with us tonight, Clarence.
Thank you, Lawrence.